What's up world? In this video we're going to cover how you plan your vegetable garden. We'll be covering 5 questions that you can use as a checklist to help you through your planning process. I'm Imran Samuels and welcome to our 6th Resilience series video. So you want to grow your own food, but how do you choose what to grow? Here are 5 questions you can ask yourself to help you decide. Number 1, what is my season and climate? This includes knowing when and how much it rains in your region, the intensity and direction of sunlight at different times of the day and year, and the prevailing winds. We'll get into these things in detail in a future video. While crops can adapt to a variety of climates, they're more likely to do better in climates which aren't too different from where they originate. For example, you'd really struggle to grow rice, which grows in tropical regions on the semi-arid Cape Flats. To know what to grow in your climate, simply follow a local planting calendar, like the one in the description below, or better yet, link up with experienced gardeners and see what they're growing at different times of the year. Number 2, what do I want to eat? Create a short list of the things that you really want to grow and eat, and grow these things. There's no use growing crops that you're not passionate about or you don't really eat, or if you're growing for sale, crops that doesn't have a readily addressable market. Number 3, is this worth your effort? This is one of the guiding principles of permaculture, to make sure that the things you grow provide you an adequate yield for your effort. If you're new to gardening, this means growing the easiest and simplest things first and learning from those inevitable mistakes before going on to more complex crop planning and exotic heirloom varieties like purple, Cherokee, Dakota, popcorn, Buddha, cheese, Northern Lights, what. Just keep it simple. Instead, start with easy crops like spinach or lettuce or tomatoes or beets. Number 4, crop rotation. This is an important sustainable farming practice which simply means that you never plant the same crop in the same bed in consecutive seasons. For example, you could rotate between the following vegetable groups from season to season. Number 1 are your fruits. These include any vegetable of which we eat the seed bearing structure rather than, for example, the leaves or the roots. For example, tomatoes. Inside the tomato are the seeds, so the tomato flesh is the seed bearing structure. Other fruits include peppers, chilies, eggplant, cucumber, pumpkin, butternut, squash, strawberries, corn, watermelon, etc. We'll also include brassicas in this vegetable group, things like cabbages, broccoli, cauliflower, and kohlrabi. All of these fruits are generally heavy nutrient feeders. Number 2, legumes, aka pulses. These include beans and peas. Now the cool thing about legumes is that they partner with special bacteria in the soil, which then fixes nitrogen from the atmosphere or takes it out of the atmosphere and makes it available to the plants in the soil. And nitrogen is an important plant nutrient that's often lacking in our soils. Number 3 is your leafy greens. Now these include things like lettuces, spinach, chard, kale, and soft herbs like coriander, fennel, and basil, all the things that we typically eat the leaf of. And number 4 are your roots or stems or tubers. Now these include things like your potatoes, your sweet potatoes, your carrots, onions, garlic, leeks. What's the benefit of crop rotating? It helps us ensure that we're not taking the same nutrients out of the soil season after season, and that we're also not building the same diseases and pathogens in the soil from season to season. And number 5, which plants grow well together? So this refers to companion planting, which simply means planting things together which have beneficial relationships. So certain plants antagonize or compete with each other by secreting certain chemicals into the soil, harmful chemicals into the soil or into the atmosphere, while others benefit each other by helping with pest management, so deterring pests or improving the nutrient and taste profiles, or providing a support structure to grow up, or providing shade. So for example, a good companion planting example is what is known as the Three Sisters, which comes from Native American culture. And it's growing a squash, which is a ground cover, with a corn, which is a tall plant, and a climbing bean which climbs up the stalk of the corn. The bean provides nitrogen for the plants and the corn provides the support structure for the beans, while the squash smothers the ground from any weeds from coming up. Check out the link in the description below for a useful companion planting guide. Okay, so to summarize those 5 checklist questions, it is: what is your season and climate? What do you want to eat and what do you want to grow? Is it worth the effort? Does it give you enough? Which plants are next in the crop rotation cycle? And which plants grow well together? Companion planting. While everyone has their own specific context, we recommend keeping it really simple when starting out. Planting, for example, just 1 to 4 different crops. Once you've gained experience, you can then start increasing your varieties. Another tip for small urban spaces is that you often get more yield if you focus on things such as your leafy greens or things which take less than 2 to 3 months to mature. Things which require more time often require more space to yield enough that can support your needs. Lastly, just get started. Get yourself some seeds or seedlings or veg scraps which you can regrow from, and just get started. Gardening is better learned by doing. So that's it for today, everyone. If you like this video, please hit that thumbs up and let us know in the comments below, what are you growing at the moment, or what are you planning to grow? And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for our next video in our resilience series.